Well, we got a new shop vehicle last night. This is a 2011 Kia Forte, and it's actually a not a bad looking little rig. It's a 2.4 liter automatic, which is the bigger 4-cylinder of the Kia lineup for this year. 173 horsepower. And the story is that the tire went flat. They didn't have the tool to change the tire. Kind of broke a wheel a little bit. Maybe that thing got curbed, I don't know. But the battery went dead, and then it sat for a couple of months. We got there last night, and there was a wheel installation kit sitting right here, and it had the lug socket. So we changed the tire, put the spare on, which was also flat-ish, but we were able to get it onto the tow dolly, and the front bumper suffered a little bit more, but we stuck a battery in it out of my 69 Chevy, and so far we've got some fuel to get it and a borrowed battery. It's got some race car exhaust, but it seems to run okay. It does have a check engine light, and when you put it in gear, it seems to kind of surge a little bit. Of course, now it's not. I'm gonna bring it inside the shop and air up the tire just so it's not sitting flat. And we'll go from there. So here we are before we lift it up. I really like the idea of like a 3 or 4 inch lift. I don't know if that's possible or not. Put some like 29-inch intercos on it or something like that. I think that would be pretty sweet. Being that it's already 173 horsepower, I think a turbo would be fitting since the exhaust needs work. So I'm going to lift it up a few inches and just see what that does for the stance. See if I can kind of gauge what kind of wheel and tire combo could fit. Now this is like 3.5 inches. That brings a lot of room for fun into the equation. Now, keeping in mind this still needs to be able to steer, and the wheel wells are not very huge this way. It might take a little bit of massage work to make it work. But we had 1.5 inches of clearance on this front tire, and now we have like 5.5. So we could go 4 inches more radius and still clear the top. So that would definitely get us into the back of the fender. That would definitely get us into the front of the bumper, but I'm thinking this bumper won't last forever. Clearance, maybe a little trimming, maybe a little re-radius job. I don't know, we'll see. So this measures 24 inches, this tire, and that's overall height or diameter. So if I were to go to a 29, that would only be 2.5 inches more radius all the way around. I think a 29-inch tire would be pretty sweet. These are currently 16-inch wheels. Yeah, 205 55 16s. But because they're, even though they kind of look cool, they're pretty beat. So if I could find, it looks like it won't clear anything smaller. So I need a 16-inch wheel for these brakes. a 29-inch max off-road tire. Oh, that would be pretty cool, I think. Let's lift it up in the air and see what kind of exhaust work it needs. Well, I think our bellows is separated. I can see inside that little woven stainless steel that when I pull on this, the actual inside of the bellows is separating from the head pipe right here. So really, if I just put a 6-inch bellows in there, I'd be good to go. So I think it needs a turbo. So for now, I did a little Sawzall bodywork, just trimmed the broken stuff off. Put a couple zip ties up there to replace the tensile strength exceeded duct tape. The headlight here is pretty loose still, but at least it's not gonna fall out when the bumper falls off, I think. And same thing over here. What do they call them? Eyelashes, I guess. The Diarrhea Kia has eyelashes, but that's a pretty affordable running, driving vehicle. We need to address a windshield at some point. We need to address an actual tire at some point. Then maybe we'll just keep an eye out for some 29s or 28s and give this thing a little altitude adjustment. Having never done any lift kits on a front-wheel drive car, just checking out things. I don't know if custom lower A-arms would be the right way to go. And then maybe do something with a drop steering, and then maybe a coil spacer up there, drop the whole strut mount down. I don't know. I don't know what the right way to go would be. I'm guessing that the ball joint would not be happy if we just throw some spacers up top and push everything down. That's the front. For the rear, we've just got a simple swing arm coil spring construction. It just has 2 mounting points for this whole axle, and then some coils and shocks. So maybe some longer shocks, maybe a little coil spacer action. I don't know if we'd want to get so crazy as far as a drop kit, or maybe Z that whole axle. I don't know. These are all ideas, speculations, whatnots. We might end up just fixing the exhaust, getting a set of wheels and tires and sending it down the road. But man, this thing looks like it could be some fun. I'd like to see how much these things weigh, because it feels pretty sporty. Just doing a quick little e-brake burnout in the driveway last night with a flat tire. That's my baseline. That's that. There is our 2011 Kia Forte hot rod. The Diarrhea Kia. Ain't that a bummer? We're binding somewhere in there. When curiosity gets the best of someone, just an FYI, a 15-inch wheel just does not want to fit. I had to stack 3 different washers to be able to get this wheel to actually rotate. Otherwise, I was hitting that brake caliper. So I either need to have wheel spacers and 15-inch wheels. And the farther I space out, the more I'm going to grind into here on full lock. Or I just have to be with a 16-inch wheel. So I guess I'm going to be on the lookout for some 16-inch wheels. I'm thinking I would like steel, some plain steel wheels. We'll see. 16-inch wheels, 5 on 4.5, no more than 29 inches diameter. And it would be really cool if they have a little bit of off-road bite to them. There's really no reason to go with a street tire if we're going to go big.